Hello everyone, and a very warm welcome to you from Victoria in British Columbia. This has to be one of the most beautiful places in Canada. Plenty to see and do. The famous Empress Hotel, built in 1908, overlooking the Inner Harbour, the Parliament buildings. Great place for walking, exploring the area around the Inner Harbour. And Chinatown is the oldest Chinatown in Canada. Lots to see and do, but all roads head to this place. This is the Save-On-Foods Memorial Centre. It's the final session of round-robin play, the Ford World Men's Curling Championship 2013. Draw 17, our featured game, Canada against Sweden. Firstly, Team Canada, the lead Ryan Harnden. At second, E.J. Harnden. Ryan Fry plays third for the Canadians. And their skip, Brad Jacobs. For Sweden, Victor Schall. At second, Fredrik Lindberg. Sebastian Kruip is the Swedish third. And Nicholas Edin, their skip. And this is how it is going into this final session of round-robin play. Scotland assured of that 1-2 playoff, but so much to play for amongst the other teams jostling for position. China, Switzerland, United States still with an outside chance. I'm Alison Walker, and joining me for live commentary on this whole game is Luke Coley. We'll just remind you of the other games going on. China against Finland, Norway versus Russia on sheet B, our game on sheet C, and on sheet D, Switzerland against the Czech Republic. And Luke, just fill us in on what you think the playoff situation and tiebreakers might be.
Well, there's lots of different versions, but the simplest way is Sweden and Czech Republic. If one of them win, there are no tiebreakers. If both win, then there will be one tiebreaker. And if they both lose, then we'll discuss that if it happens. Because that would mean there's 5 teams tied at 6 and 5 possibly. Depends on the other games, but really, Czech Republic, Sweden have the destiny in their control. Sweden, if they win, they can move as far as the 1-2 game. Canada can fall as low as a tiebreaker to get in, a team that did start 6-0.
Yeah, but Canada are assured at least of that tie-breaking position. Bottom line for Sweden is they have to win. And this is our featured game. Canada coming into this on the back of that defeat as well to Denmark just a couple of hours ago. I wonder how he's feeling. He's certainly got plenty of support in here.
He does. This, no surprise that these two face off against one another to wrap up round robin. Coming in, Canada, Sweden, probably two favorites. They've played each other numerous times, and over round robin play at a World Championship. Canada is 51-14 against Sweden overall. But these two teams are not included in that stat. They will be after tonight.
And the stats, though.
It's always hard when you're comparing a game against Nicholas Edin against Glenn Howard like it was last year to Brad Jacobs against Nicholas Edin, or looking back, Paya Lindholm against Randy Furby back in 2001.
But it's been a long week, and it's all come down to this last session of round-robin play. And a lot of teams still in the mix. Every game's been hugely competitive. How do you think Canada will look after that defeat earlier today?
Well, they bounced back from their two previous defeats with victories. This a little different, though. It's against a very strong Sweden team that was out-curled in their game earlier today against Denmark, but were able to stick with it, come back, get a mistake out of Rasmus Stjern, and come out with the victory, and a big one because it now positions them with a win. They're into the 1-2 game. A loss, they could be out of the playoffs, though. So there is a lot to lose for Sweden. Canada knows they got that tiebreaker at worst.
But there you go. There's the psychology and the mental side of it. I wonder how that will impact on the way they approach the game.
Sweden has the hammer to start. First stone in a great position for Victor Schall. Had a struggle this morning, pardon me. They're all blending together now. As
Canada on the red stones, Sweden on the yellows.
Seems kind of fitting that Canada, with red in their flag, will have red, and Sweden with the yellow will have the yellow stones.
Makes it easier for us to follow too, which is good. And there's the rows of
comes out the other side.
Play 6 ends minimum, 73 minutes for each team, and the coach interaction is allowed, but the clock continues to run. Team Scotland can pop back to their hotel and rest up and watch them thrash it out here in the Save-On Foods Memorial Centre.
Well, just a little touch of that one. They were trying to freeze, then they decided to go around. So a slight mistake. A hit and roll opportunity. E.J. Harnden to try and get in behind.
E.J. Harnden, age 30, curling for more than 20 years.
But rolls a little too far, comes out the other side, actually goes to the edge of the 12-foot.
Oh, did that weight come down?
Yeah, weight came down.
Big time, eh?
Yeah. Good throw.
He seems to have been a little bit caught out by that. But early days, can afford one or two of these at the start. Second for Sweden, Fredrik Lindberg, 27-year-old. From Stockholm. Silver medalist from the 2010 Olympics. He played second and they were fourth in Vancouver. And this team likely to be representing Sweden in Sochi.
Yeah, towards that.
Yeah. Brad, but just nose it and it goes over. More than that, no?
I like peel.
I like peel.
Yeah, like try to nut it right here, eh?
Yeah.
This Canadian team, when in doubt, when in trouble, will go to the hit weight as opposed to the draw. Same with Nicholas Edin. So good matchup that way as they're Raised double lined up nicely for them. That's why they wanted to throw peel, so they had the big weight to go straight back.
Yep, it's pretty effective for them. It's worked well this week. 2 Swedish stones disappearing. So Sweden rebuild again.
Wow, långt ut, långt ut. Låt den curla, bara Viktor. Jag tror att den är lång. Behöver curla.
Kom igen, dra. Japp.
Ja, gå nu, hårt. Nästan helt över linan, Micke. Japp.
Kör.
Gå.
Well, they don't get enough around that one. There's still a bit of that open.
I got hack. I don't like hack. It's either that or this.
Still slower, you think?
Yeah, there.
The Canadian third Ryan Fry, 34-year-old,
Clean. Just slide.
born in Winnipeg, Manitoba.
That's good.
Line only. We're all there. Hunts.
Straight off. Weights. Not bad. Yep. Oh.
Well, just a little bounce off in between what they wanted to do with it.
Slid pretty good, eh?
Pardon?
Slid pretty good, eh?
Yeah.
Sebastian Kraub, Swedish third, 27-year-old,
Det är inte så pålagd dock.
also from Stockholm.
Heder närmast.
Farten är bra.
Heder närmast. Heder närmast. Håll koll på den.
Precis.
Ska lämna lite luft.
Ja, vi är en halvsten.
Japp.
Well, very nice right down on top, trying to line up. You thought they might just play the hit and roll off the red one, roll away, but it leaves the double.
What are we doing to ourselves? Try to stay on the face.
What's that do for us? Why don't we just run it back now? Mike, we gotta run it.
Run it. Stick here.
Yeah, right on the nose. Right on the nose, right? Yep, really hard. All the way hard. All the way hard. Go! Go!
Well, the big weight able to spill that one back, but it's third shot, and now Nicholas Edin can hit to lie 3. Just sensing the mannerisms from this Canadian team and the way Jacob's unsure. He's been so solid in knowing what he wants to play for the most part, and there the team sort of overrules him from the other end. Pressure-filled game, but he's played lots of those, especially this year, the Canadian Championship. He beat the last 2 world champs in one day to get to this world stage.
So even at this early stage, we sense a little bit of tension in the Canadian team. And Sweden will just do their thing.
Right on the nose. And Canada's out to try and either hit and roll behind cover, double real flat.
Let's make that double and roll. Control?
Yep.
Wasn't a lot of time for Canada in between. Coming off a loss, and they got to bounce right back this evening. A night draw, final round robin game.
Hair more?
Stands are filled. Good crowd here this evening for them, cheering them on every shot, every move they make. They're noticing them.
There is an air of expectation of Canada. Of course there is. There has to be. The Canadian teams have always been used to that, particularly in Canada. It's New territory for this skip.
Well, wanting to hit and roll the other way. They were trying to play the double and roll to the wide side. Quickly called for a change. And if Nicholas Edin, I don't know if he wants to roll away, if Brad will then take a chance to roll in, or play a draw, be real risky because he could give up 4, but probably try and play a double.
And what does it say about Sweden that they can get to this stage and get as many wins as they have? 6 without actually playing at their best.
Have yet to play their a complete game. They've had
patches of decent stuff, yeah. But they know how to grind out the wins. There's a lot of strategy in Nicholas Edin's game. He absolutely loves it. Did a big interview with him earlier on this year. He loves that element to the game.
Well, they're trying to roll inside, avoid that one at the back, and they roll about half tuck behind that guard. Real gutsy call to go for that roll inside. I think they might have changed partway down when they were on it early. I thought they'd just roll away and see what Jacobs would do.
Yep, really asserting themselves in this game right from the start.
Well, Sweden was able to win the draw to the button, got them last stone in this first end. Jacobs now has to be to the face of this one, maybe even a hair inside, and force a draw for a second point for Sweden. Bounce off, shot for multiple, more than just the 2.
Even at this stage, absolutely crucial stone for Canada.
Coming down. Where is it? Line's getting tight. Yep. Whoa. Whoa, line's it. Good line. There. Whoa. Whoa.
Well, trying to come down, little tap. Big shot for them. Nicholas sure probably looked to see if he could have enough to play the pick.
Good throw, Brad.
Outturn draw, clutch draw from Brad Jacobs. He showed the ice in his veins, able to put that freeze on top, facing 3. So now Nicholas Edin needs to respond, put this in the forefoot, get an early 2.
So last stone of this first end. 27-year-old Nicholas Edin.
5-4. Inne är perfekt. Viktor närmast. Perfekt linje.
Lindberg, Schall just need to guide this one to the forefoot. Those two of the best. Put it on the button for Nicholas Edin.
Great start for Sweden. Getting there 2 after the first end. It's Canada 0, Sweden 2. Welcome back to our coverage of the Four World Men's Curling Championship. We're going to give you an update on one of the other games in the arena. Switzerland and the Czech Republic in the first end. Last stone from the Swiss skip, Sven Michel.
Good opportunity, just hit the paint to score two. That's a huge chance for the Swiss team. With a win against Czech Republic and a Canadian loss, then Switzerland is into a tiebreaker scenario. So an early start, Czech Republic wins. They're into a possible playoff position, depending what happens right next to them.
So the Swiss off to a flyer. Interesting glasses. You would suit those, look.
I'm not even sure how to respond to that one.
You've got a pair, haven't you?
Yeah, I was saving them for the weekend.
Back to our featured game. Canada against Sweden. First blood to Sweden in that first end. Getting the guard up. Swedes with their own guard. Let's check on sheet B for you. Norway against Russia. First end. Thomas Ulsrud with the last stone. Looking for a big score here. Looks like it could be 3 or 4.
Well, Norway is going to come off in a sour mood after a loss against the U.S. earlier today, and they come out, and the Russians take one on the chin, giving up 4 in the first. So Norway needs a win, and Sweden and Czech Republic loss to have a chance.
Yeah, they need other teams to do them favours. But first of all, they have to make sure of the win, and they've come out all guns blazing against Russia.
Well, looking to peel that corner, ends up rolling to a centerline garden.
No bad end result.
That looks like it's pretty good now, I think, yeah, I think so.
Brad Jacobs feeling as if he's carrying the weight of a nation on his shoulders.
Yep. Hard line.
Doesn't look as if he's enjoying it a huge amount, does he?
He's realizing how tough it is to come from a Canadian championship and go to a world championship, basically the same type of event. And this one on the front, actually tweeted earlier the week, 2 days ago, that he feels 65 years old. How guys like Martin, Howard, and Stoughton have been skipping for so long is very impressive. I'm mentally done. Toast.
That's what he's been saying. Feeling the pressure a little bit, to say the least.
It is stressful, and in your home country, it's always different. Going overseas, there's not nearly the pressure, tension that you get when you're playing in your home country. Especially a country with 34 world championship titles.
Such a proud record in the sport. And a reputation to maintain. And also, you know, keeping your game up to that level for such a long period as well. The ebb and flow. This is looking pretty tasty. Just catches the rather yellow.
Looks like it made a jump on them. They thought they were gonna. I think they thought they had lots of room in it. Made a move, got all the way around, and then touches that yellow. EJ Harden trying to open things up for the back half of this team, Ryan Fry and Brad Jacobs. Spills everything off, opens up the front. Sweden line 2.
Fick ligga ovanpå den så.
Vilken fart?
Trycka ner den på T-line.
Okej. Vänta curl!
Över curla.
Vänta!
Aldrig. Jag har ingenting. Jag har ingenting. Men touchar nu en tredje. Bara stanna efter.
Well, touches their own. I think might see some weight. Try and clear up those yellows.
Throw the peel and roll to the side.
Like, you can do this.
Yeah.
We're leaving just one rock in.
I can save my shooter.
Just off nose, yeah. 3/4. Real tough to save the shooter, Fry.
I still like it. We gotta get
Okay,
those
that's fine. I like it.
Bowing to his second in command.
Well, Fry said, I can keep my shooter. Well, they get rid of 2, keeps the shooter.
So it was the right call.
Well, I figured they'd throw weight at it. When they've been in trouble, they've thrown weight. Spills that one out to the side.
So Sweden, the counting stone.
Fortsätt gå. Vad var den?
While they roll over, there is a double. But it would leave a double right back. But right now, keeping things a little simpler seems like the best medicine for this Canadian team. It's just a little unsure. Normally, very confident what they're going after. And there, the double. But leaves a double back. The only thing is Nicholas Sedin would love to keep a shooter, but a tough double to keep shooter around.
Okay. Well, even if you make it som möjligt, men säkert ut med sexan i alla fall. Okay.
Is Eva Lund, the Swedish men's coach. So the alternate.
Eva, one of 3 female coaches of all 12. Finland and Japan, the other ones with female coaches. Of course, Eva, part of the legendary Annette Norberg team. Just an impressive record, and If you haven't heard, Annette Norberg is retired from competitive curling, two-time Olympic gold medalist, the only curler, men or women, with 2 Olympic golds as the double maid and sticks as shooter. That
Great result for Sweden.
this the type of Niklas Edin we've seen years in the past.
There go the 2 reds. And the yellow remains. Bronze medalists at last year's World Championships.
Tom Coulterman, the coach of this Brad Jacobs rink.
Looking very solemn.
Line's a little tight.
Line's good. Good line. Yep.
Oh,
Yep.
line's good.
Yep.
Line's good.
Line. Might over curl, I think.
While trying to draw around this corner, they're making an aggressive play to try and set up a 2. This one sliding is, it will come down T-line.
It is pretty well behind that other red further up.
Well, you can see it did come out the other side a bit, but because it's on the outside, have to go outside in. Look a little bit less exposed from the hack.
Funderar om det kanske kan vara en Ulfström, vi ser ändå över linan. Det borde vara där det minst absolut minst spelat.
Och när den väl går över linan, då är det nästan där man har slidat upp det liksom. Borde ju
So
vara
the
lätt.
in-turn freeze to force Canada to take 1 in this second end.
Han hade samma split på sin dragning nu som han hade på sin dragning när han frös.
Ja. Det är man dit. Han är mitt på 10, så snedfryser den. Ingen dutt, men han är bite rött ungefär. För att komma in på fyrfoten så skottar måste i alla fall göra ett slag. Ja.
So Niklas Edin with his last stone, attempting to make it as difficult as possible for Canada.
Behöver curla, känns långt. Den curlar inte än, behöver curla. Kommer nu, nej. Vänta, Viktor är med. Vänta, japp. Hårt!
They had to wait for it to move. Did they have to wait too long? Well, they get it for shot. They come up just a hair short. Because they had to wait for it to curl, they couldn't go on it.
Yep, they couldn't get onto it any sooner. You know, they had to wait, and it is not a shot stone. And that's a bit of a fortunate scenario for Canada.
Well, as the crowd sees the overhead on the big screen, they know that now Brad Jacobs has a chance to draw for his second point and tie this game up instead of being forced to take 1. Just a few millimeters difference.
So last stone of the second end. Canada hoping to secure their 2 and level things up with this draw.
It's hanging out there.
Just sweep for the tee.
Well, just staying close. Front end guides this one right in.
Big round of applause from the crowd. Safely done by the skip, and after 2 ends, Canada do level things up. Canada 2, Sweden 2.
taking on this Finnish team that 7 points. They'll no doubt move ahead of New Zealand, who's not here after an 8.
By that, after the close of play for some of the teams today.
Well, the U.S., according to someone who was close to the team, I said, what do you need for Olympics? He goes, a miracle. Meaning certain teams to win to drop into three-way ties so that they can get enough points to get in.
And when you're depending on other teams, that's when it makes it really difficult, not within your control. And these two teams should be all right.
Yes, both should be well into, no matter on the results of this game, will be into the Olympics. Their country will be.
Not necessarily these teams.
Canada will have their Olympic trials in December. There will also be a trial for the teams that don't qualify for 2 spots for the Olympic Winter Games. Of course, the top 7 plus the host Russia will be in. And Scotland will, their points will be for Great Britain. They'll be wearing the Great Britain colors at the Olympic Winter Games.
We don't know what the team will be.
Still a lot of that to be determined, but the nations that will be, 8 of them will be determined by Sunday.
So we're into this third end. This game between Canada and Sweden, our featured game, 2-2. Sweden needing the win. A loss is no good to them. If they lose, they are out.
Well, first stone centerline guard, the corner went up, and then I believe the second one there was intended to be in the house for Canada. Come around to the corner, and exactly what Sweden wants with the hammer. Play to the outside, and played 2 good ends other than one, about a quarter rock shy on Nicholas Edin's last. Otherwise, they're forcing Canada to take 1, and it's a different game. So Canada, in a 2-2 game, just seem tight. And this team's first World Championship appearance. It's a different stage. And that one over curls as Sweden will lie 1. So realizing that Canada will try and play around their center, beat them to the punch, go behind, but glad I saw the indication. Just into the 8 foot, just top 8 foot.
Gently bypassing the guards. And resting almost in line with them, but not quite.
But it goes about a rock too deep because any freeze on top of it is now going to be second shot. Eliminates the stones behind the corner.
Got a rip, Brad. Why don't we just run the guard into it?
Exactly.
What?
Yeah, I might get shoot over.
You might get them both. Thin this way. Pretty thin each.
Well, not liking the stagger and the fact that they can't play a run back and that it is 1-2. Trying the run back, E.J. Harnden.
Curl. Okay.
Will end up peeling just the 1.
Because, like, it's good, doesn't tell me nothing. I thought it was heavy, like, you know what I mean?
Oh, yelled T-line.
So jump over Norway, Russia, 4 in the first by the Norwegians. And Russia and Andrei Drozdov. He may be 3 and 7, has an Olympic spot, but he's trying to play and ensure that he will be the team playing in Russia in Sochi.
Yep, he wants to make sure he's picked. So he needs to put in a good performance at these World Championships. And then the Europeans in December.
I was trying to tap, looked like he had that tap to try and get 3, and 1 for sure as he moves 1. And I think just the 2, and it is confirmed, so 4-2 in the third end of that game. Sweden draws the other side to lie 3.
It's either that or we try a draw.
No, no. What do we do?
Shying away from anything to do with the word draw. You heard EJ Harnden, that's whose voice you were hearing. Trying to get them all, and will chip and roll over Lai.
I think it's still the yellow. Or do you think it's red?
It's very close. I think it is red. And that can be an end saver there.
Yep, looks
Quiet
like
wait.
red there.
I think you can still have to get just across nose here for Sebastian Kraup. Well, try and have that one spill far enough, at least to lie 2. We'll move it, and lie 1. But tough for Canada to play at draw, because they now have to hit something facing multiple counters.
Jacobs just looking at the angles.
I don't know who's second.
And who's lying where, who's counting.
Anything. It might just go bang, jam.
Yeah, we might also make it.
What's that? Either that or we just go right in here.
Are they 2?
I can't tell.
You can't, if they're 2, we can't play the draw.
Yeah, I know. I can't tell.
I like this. I think you have to play it.
I think we're 2.
Go take a look.
Sweden definitely counting 1, the yellow there.
Dead jam.
And I think the red is second stone.
You guys like this?
I don't like leaving 3 yellows in there, but...
Like, I can also roll all the way over there.
Well, you know which shot Ryan favors? But Brad worried about the jam. Front end wasn't wanting to go this way.
Eli. Good line.
This line. See?
Line's good.
Real good line. Real good line.
Yeah, we're still there.
Clean.
Still there.
Whoa, whoa.
Yep.
Yep. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Well, they come right to the button and will lie 1. Now Sweden's turn to make the decision.
Antingen eller. Bästa på spotten, men. Antingen eller. Innan eller.
Well, my Swedish isn't very good, but I think from just the broom indication, they're going to run this one. They can pick the one off the button or try and catch that one in the back, 12 foot.
Yep. That was very decisive from Nicholas Edin. This is the man that will carry out the instruction. He hopes.
Well, they're going to hit it on the wrong side. Will kill one of theirs out. That was second or yeah, second shot at that point. So Canada, now it is big who's second shot. Canada's 1-2. They can throw the center line guard.
They irritated by that. Westy and Kraup. So, pendulum swung in favour of Canada.
So Brad Jacobs just getting the weight reinforced by his two cousins, the Harnden brothers.
Guys, if we ever have to switch. Lines.
Tight.
Where is it?
Pretty good. Tight.
It's their first full year together. The four of them with Ryan Fry. The previous year, EJ was the third. Ryan was the second.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Sit.
Quick discussion, and Dean heads back up the other end.
Yeah, they took the one shot with the run back. You can't risk doing that now. You need to get shots down with Nicholas's first.
Då kanske den här är bättre, Niklas.
No, he's saying that if he freezes, we'll come off.
Ja, gör det. Dra garden.
Well, worried about that stone in the top of the 12-foot. That if they move that one, there's a little bit of separation. They'll come off the side. So the out-turn run back. A little surprised they went from the freeze to this. And pardon me, in-turn run back is what they will play. Hit it perfect and get both, but just wanted to get that one right off the button. Well, and they'll get all of them moving, and all of a sudden, now Sweden lies to the run back. Double.
Great shot from Medin.
Fantastic. Able to run that one and catches across the face.
He's playing some good stuff in this game. There we go. 1, 2, and 3, and off go all the Reds.
He threw that so hard, the lights turn off just prior to it hitting. Those being the hogline sensors.
Well spotted, Luke. So that's changed everything.
Now Brad Jacobs needs to make a double, otherwise he's given up two back. So back and forth this game has gone in the early going. Brad Jacobs thinks he has a nice guard.
Just while we're waiting on that shot, let's go to China against Finland on sheet A, third end. China leading 3-2 over the Finns.
And a double needed to try and get one. And won't, so it'll jam, and it'll be a steal of one for China.
Come on, baby.
Meanwhile, the double here doesn't spin it far enough. It won't get that yellow out, so just that little bit off. And the red rolls in the open for Nicholas Edin to have a chance to score two right back. So this afternoon, Canada couldn't get a two at all against Denmark. Neither side could until the ninth end. And now we have a chance for a third deuce in the first three ends tonight.
Just how it goes sometimes. So Sweden just have to make sure they can get rid of that red stone, that red Canadian counting stone. They remain in the rings.
Just a quick update, 4-2 score China over Finland with that steal for China, keeping their playoff hopes alive and Olympic qualification. Well, Big Scrub needs the hit and stick. There's the hit, little roll over.
Yep, and 2 for Sweden. Nicely played. After 3 ends, Sweden back in the lead. Canada 2, Sweden 4. Welcome back to our live coverage of the Ford World Men's Curling Championship 2013 here in the Save On Foods Memorial Centre. Great crowd in tonight, focusing on the tie between Canada and Sweden. 4-2 so far to the Swedes after 3 ends. They haven't done too much wrong in this game so far, have they?
No, they've got a couple of some misses from Team Canada in the middle. They've been able to set things up a little bit better and put the pressure on them. It's just, see, these are the numbers coming into the event for Ryan Harnden, or pardon me, into this game for the event. Harnden is the top lead, 91%. Canada just seems on edge a little bit. They're just not from earlier in the week where things were rolling. It's a lot easier to put the broom and make the right call when things are rolling. Now here fighting it a little bit.
Michelle coming into this game, 88%.
That's down tied for 6th, so rare for Victor to be down that low. But had a rough game earlier this morning, just 79%.
So let's stress these are the stats going into this game. Victor's lead stones have actually been pretty accurate so far in this game.
Yeah, it's a good position, leaves a little bit of it open, but leaves the right side of it open so that this freeze by Ryan Harnden, made perfectly, doesn't allow them to make a play towards the corner, have to sit on the corner of it. Oh, and they've given up early. They want this one now over curl the guard. Didn't. I don't know if he got out to the stick. So goes just across center the other way.
Meantime, let's go to sheet B. Norway against Russia. 4-2 Norway. Third end. This is skip Thomas Olsrud with the last stone, trying to increase his team's lead.
And they're also needing the win and to become Canadian fans, needing them to win, and Swiss fans, so that they get into that logjam of teams.
And they did succeed getting their 2 there. So it's now Norway 6, Russia 2 after 3.
So a mess of stones out in front. Canada now try and bail things out. A couple of misses early. They're talking about maybe being a stone for Ryan Harnden. 90% top second is EJ trying to open things up, see if they can even run it in. Missed the one in the house. So still Sweden lying 1, top 4 foot.
Okay. Okay.
Well, they want to cross it a bit to make this tap. They'll be about half buried behind that guard. They're hoping just to go top 12 foot. Again, needing to open the front up. That's the stone causing them some trouble, is that red one was the one that overcurled for Ryan Harnden.
Yep, didn't finish where they wanted it. So it's in the way now.
Well, gets a bunch of them going. Now they have some options off the side if a guard's made by Sweden. Sweden has to be happy the way got things going in the early. They've got a couple of misses, and it's always nice when your third man can go out and be throwing a centerline guard.
They just seem a lot more assured, a lot more, I hesitate to say the word relaxed, but
I think experience is one thing, and never really talked about the inexperience with this Canadian team because they played it 4 Canadian championships. They've went through some of the top teams in Canada, which is at this caliber. But it's always different when you're at a world stage and all the eyes are on you and you have the maple leaf on your back, because when a country's won 34 gold medals, people are coming after you every game.
They also haven't had that experience of playing out of Canada all that often, whereas these guys indeed travel all over the world.
But their numbers showing not doing too badly, 88% for Ryan Fry, as they go and get everything moving and get them all out. So the raised double made by Ryan Fry.
That one gets the crowd going for sure. Sheet D, let's check on Switzerland against the Czech Republic. Hugely important game on this sheet. Last stone of this 4th end. Jiří Schnitl, the Czech skip.
And they beat Canada for the first time at a Czech Republic beating Canada, period, at a World Championship, and are in a position to try and get to the playoffs. This is their best record, win or lose in this draw, but now they got to focus on playoffs, and a win can help them try and get to the Olympics.
They've got one back there. It's Switzerland 2, Czech Republic 1.
Just shows the amount of work that the Czech Republic's put in. Last year they had 2 wins at the World Championship. This year They already have 6 and a chance to move to 7 and get to a possible tiebreaker or playoffs.
And also that European Championship bronze medal, which gave them a huge lift. That meant so much to them in Karlstad in December.
Right off, right off, right off. Yep, yep, hard, yes! Hard, EJ, hard, come on!
Well, they're trying to roll it behind the corner and not able to. They'll punch that one, sit in the 8-foot, probably about edge on edge. Of course, our vantage point right behind doesn't quite get behind the corner guard. Almost like it made a move on them that they didn't expect, because Brad was saying right off, and then all of a sudden they jumped it with the sweeping, that it made its move hog line in.
Yep, they're talking about the jump there. You should be down there, Luke.
I talk a good game.
I think they should listen to your advice. Lots of stones dotted about, like debris. Sweden do have 2 of the best sweepers in the business, but it's going to catch that guard and that one, that other red stone.
There's a minor miscue from Niklas Edin, though. That rock was open to get at, and they can't hold it. It rubs the guard, pushes it behind cover. And now advantage Canada.
Yep. He knows. Tiny margins again. Frederick having a quick look on the big screen. So just the one red stone in there. Canadian stone. Brad Jacobs, 83% coming into this game. The Canadian skip.
It's the only member of their team not the top at any position, but tied for 3rd, only 3% back.
Just for weight.
Oh, it's over curling now.
Okay. Know that.
Yep, yep.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Well placed by Brad Jacobs. Now a freeze isn't second shot, and Niklas Edin now has to take a chance. 3 comes into play here.
Den är svår. Kommer man hit så blir man inte en skotter på
Ja, jag vet. Nej, jag tänkte bara för att stöda. Ja, det tiddragningsytan är en prick. Bak 4 då. Ja,
Well, it was after Canada sort of forced Sweden to come after them, making that hit. Doesn't quite roll behind.
Prickar vi egen då blir det 3 år. För det är skitsamma om den är för lång och sopa igenom den för linjen så att säga. Snackar mycket fart. Jag har tiddragningsisen så drar vi bara lite längre med sopen.
So Niklas Edin, his final stone, just touched the guard. He's also at 83%, but he's had as low as 78%. High game, 95.
And once we get the game accuracy, we'll get an assessment on how they're doing currently.
Trying to go around, sit for shot stone. This one needs to hit the brakes and sit down. and I think it sits just for second shot. Might just outcount that one behind cover.
So a couple of dodgy skips stones from Nicholas Edin. Definitely one in there for Canada.
Like that.
While just reinforcing it. This will be important for Brad. He can get some momentum going for his team. They were kind of playing it conservative not to lose as opposed to playing it to win. And now the outturn after a couple misses from Edin, he can try and utilize that.
And they were approaching it in a more reactive way rather than a proactive way. So last stone of this fourth end from the Canadian skip Brad Jacobs. Mistake by Nicholas Edin. Can he take advantage? And that has pumped them right up. A significant score for Canada in the fourth end. 3 red stones. And after 4, it's now Canada 5, Sweden 4. So what's happening elsewhere? China against Finland. It's the Finnish skip with the last stone. Trailing in this game.
Well, China, this is a must-win game, and Aku Kosti trying to get at that one. Well, the question, does he tap it far enough? And it doesn't. It'll stay in the forefoot. Big sweep from the front end, but
couldn't manage it. That's a mistake.
So another steal in a 5-2 game.
Oh, it's been a long day. A long day of great action here at the Save On Foods Memorial Centre, and it's not over yet. This is an absolutely crucial evening for all of these teams for all sorts of reasons.
5-4 the score. It'll be interesting how Sweden bounces back, because that end they controlled other than 2 misses by Nicholas Edin, and it was Jacobs chasing. So we'll see how things swing in this end, whereas if Canada can utilize that, the crowd gets into a little bit. Canada gets the 3, their first lead of the game. As we see centerline guard. The corner guard will go up. Sweden will try and keep play to the wing. There's been some great shots Ryan Fry making a raised double in that last end that allowed play to open up from the center line. Then he made a hit and roll, forced Canada or Sweden to come after it.
And then the mistakes, opening the door.
All there. How's line? Weight's good.
Okay. Got a curl. Definitely has to curl. At the end, it's curling. You're gonna have to go a bit easy. Yep. Come on, you got it for line. Hard, 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 hard.
He's going to curl around in behind the other red, and it is almost directly behind. Just marginally to one side.
So with that one in a pretty good spot in the heart of the house, can't play behind the corner. They got to go to the center, try and corner freeze it. Well, just a bit too much weight for Victor Schall. Chip off it.
Absolutely must-win game for Norway on sheet B. They're leading 6-2 in the fourth end.
Drozdov, the Russian skip, has to play the intern, get to the button. There is a path and a port to get there, but not an easy one. Has to get down, right in to the forefoot, to the button. Well, trying to come up, get past their front. Do they have enough chip off it? Unable to make it there. It looks like another steal, or pardon me, the first steal of the game, and a steal of 2 at that. So 8-2 after 4 ends. Norway angry after a loss this afternoon. They need a win, and a Canadian and Swiss win.
Norway looking after the business on the sheet.
Hit and roll on ours to lie 2, and Frederick Lindbergh can't make the run back, just peels the guard, forcing Canada to replace it.
Okay.
Well, virtually replaces it in the same spot. Another run back needed. This time hoping to make contact. Frederick Lindbergh will get the back one, but rolls the shooter off. So just the 1 now, top of the forefoot.
Elsewhere on sheet D, Switzerland against Czech Republic, fifth end, 2-1 to the Swiss at the moment. Schniedl. Chasing this game.
Swiss team at 5-5, trying to not only help themselves, but help others to get to the playoffs or a tiebreaker. Need a win. A win doesn't help themselves. They need a win and a Canadian win. They got to do their part first. That 1 will give them a 3-1 lead after 5. So we're there. Not sure if they were trying to put the center line guard up or coming right in. That one slides to the house. I think you need to try and get both of them. Well, they kicked the one just out a little bit. It is still shot stone for Canada. The thing that helps Sweden at this point is that they don't have a center line guard.
Like nose? Wow, you could roll them both. It's real good. What? Nose? Yeah, okay.
Was that control? Yep.
Whoa, whoa.
Just floats. Roll it?
Yep.
Yep.
Hard.
Whoa. Off.
Okay.
Well, that one just rolls. They're hoping to get the nose.
Fly through that pretty good too.
You did. Maybe a little heavy.
A little heavy?
I didn't really expect it to
That
track.
first one, none of us thought it was in.
Really?
No idea how that slid in.
Jag så.
Nej, snarare. Den ska ju. Det är nog
Vi
bra.
committar och går för 2, så det är inte hela världen om den curlar över heller.
Vi kan
Fryser
väl-
den sidan, då är det i alla fall kvar där.
Det går ju rundan också.
Nej.
Nej, men jag menar friställer runt.
Ja, precis.
Lite till.
Well, now they got play to the corner. They're trying to set something up, play something offensive, try and set up a score at 2.
Försiktigt. Jag ska bara ta 8. Wow.
Bra
Försiktigt.
fart för frys.
Wow.
Kolla.
Wow. Bra fart. Mer för linje.
In är okej. Fixa närmast.
Nej. Gå nu va. Gå nu. Ja, gå nu.
Well, trying to sit right on the face of it. Very nice. They know they're not going to be shot stone. To get shot stone, they would have sat and left a blast available for Canada.
That's how close they are.
Flop.
Should leave a double.
The only thing is that rock's in the way now, maybe, for a double. Well, no, I guess he'll hit flop low.
Yeah,
and
I
then we can
think.
hit that double,
Yeah.
right?
Or just guard it, but
I guess the guard, well, he's got that lined up pretty nice.
it's not lined up. Oh, so I guess it is. I think so. I think that's a shot.
You guys liked it?
Yeah, I don't. What else are you guys thinking?
Wow. The only other thing is the garden. That yellow is lined up.
Yeah, I know.
A couple of options here,
Very appealing. Back one.
Yeah.
but they seem settled on this one.
And just know that if they did guard it, those yellows were lined up right to the yellow-red connection. They've already seen the run-back ability. Both teams have that in their arsenal.
Back four. Just put it back four. Line's not hit.
Right on the button, guys. Just
Yeah,
here.
I've won that, I think.
Take a look.
Line's not an issue.
On the
Back four.
button's good.
Back four is better.
Oh, it's not really.
Well, okay, yeah, I see what you're saying. Yep.
Yep.
Gotta go.
No, that's pretty good. Yep.
That's not sweet, guys.
That's good. Good spot. It's not better because he's going to freeze to that if there's.
Yeah.
Then we just. Jag tycker vi kan prova. Du, alltså,
Sätt jag chappen, då måste han ju. Chappan igen.
jag menar, gör vi den här någon typ av vick hit. Han måste slå den. Den är ju fortfarande öppen. Det ska mycket till för att, jag gillar den, Jannik. Vicka dit.
Normalt så.
Ja.
Kommer nog klara det. Då är det lite mer.
Well, see if they thought they might have lined something up or just trying to hit and roll in. Lie second and third. Put the pressure on whatever Canada plays. We'll see if they're trying for the fin off their yellow or if they just are trying to play the hit and try and roll the shooter over in front. Well, try and make the hit and just a little roll. So to make the double, it might jam. Or the shooter has to roll out.
This is a great spot.
Problem is, there's not a lot of rings to work with that you might leave a double back.
Right in front of it. That's all we got.
Leave him the double, eh, for two.
What? Well, if you roll right in front of it, you might roll out.
Where would be the best spot to roll to? Right there, Fry.
Well, yeah, there's pretty good too.
Well, double for two, right?
Yeah.
If we could roll it to, here,
Yeah.
it's a pretty good spot.
Control.
Yeah.
Well, you have to try and roll where they go to. Problem is, they got to be careful they don't end up try and go too much and have it over curl, roll out, and leave an open hit for two. You'd rather force them make a short roll. Make a double. Nicholas went pretty much where he was expecting to with his.
Close. Just down.
Whoa. Yep. Whoa.
Yep.
Whoa. Yep.
Yep.
Hard.
Yep.
Whoa. Whoa. Whoa.
Roll or no?
Yeah.
Gotta go.
Gotta go real hard.
Well, try and get any roll. And question is, did they get in far enough to lie? Second shot.
I'm not sure they are, Luke.
It's a real good throw.
Again, very close.
Come up, man.
Perfect throw. Brutal. Absolute perfect throw. Just expecting it to take a move, like.
Well, it is close. I think it's yellow, though.
Do you not think that would
I
keep
was. I
curling
did.
a little bit?
Nicholas has the chance to take the lead back in the fifth end for Sweden. Must win for Sweden. Loss, they don't know if they'd be in a tiebreaker or possibly.
They're on 6 wins if they lose.
Possibility to finish as high as second, as low as out of the playoffs.
This is last stone from Edine.
Well, needs the hit. Got to get past that top stone. And able to get the nose. One for sure. They'll take a look. And it is two as they confirm that. So the deuce for Sweden and the lead into the fifth end break. Well, look back to the first end and got things off back and forth. in this first end, and the freeze was made. Otherwise, could be 3 or 4 for Sweden instead. It's a draw for a second point for Niklas Edin and Sweden. They get off to a fast start with an early 2, leading Canada 2-0. Right back into the second end, and Niklas Edin was playing that freeze. Came up just a hair short of being shot stone, which meant this is a draw for 1. Instead, it's a draw for a second point for Team Canada to get on the board and tie things up. So 2-2 after 2. After Niklas Edin got a deuce in the third to take the lead. 2 misses from Niklas Edin. Skip for Sweden. Brad Jacobs, the outturn draw with a little tap to get 3. And right down to it. Just have to move it a little bit, and there it is. Canada takes advantage, scores 3, but gives up 2 in the 5th. So after 5, 6-5. As we have a chance, we'll take a look. China, Finland. Last of the 5th end. Aku Koste. Consecutive steals. Now, chance to get 2 back. As the Finnish skip. Looking to draw in, get a second point in this. A nice open draw for Team Finland to make it 5-4 into their break. And it'll come right down in. So
they're right back in that one, right back in it. Hoping for their
so we look at
third
the
win.
Other scores. Norway dominating against Russia, up 8-3 after 5. You saw the 5-4 China-Finland, and Switzerland needs a win against the Czech Republic to have their chance. 3-1 right now. Switzerland, with the win, has a chance to bring 5 losses into play, but Sweden leading right now would eliminate any of those chances.
The Czechs aren't out of it either, though.
Så fort man kastar av sig jackan så kommer de att flytta på det. Det ska vara blått, rent och snyggt. Och då tänker jag bara så här, okej, de vill lära sig att svettas på isen.
Ja, typ. Ja, ett inte missa mot dem. Helvete.
Men det är som sagt, det är som är så bra att det står upp. Okej, vi fick någon lite motgång gången innan.
Let's check on the stats after the first 5 ends. We know the score, but there's the numbers. And actually, apart from the hits, it's pretty close, but Sweden on top in every department.
Not a lot to choose, back and forth. A couple misses allowed the 3 by Team Canada. Got a 1-point advantage as 5 ends remaining, and if it's as good as the first 5, we're in for an outstanding finish to round robin play.
Awful lot to play for all the teams out there in this final session. There's a real buzz in the crowd.
All offense.
Players get refueled.
Made for TV.
And they've got dressed up for the occasion. Lots of red. Looking good. Enjoying the action. What kind of hat is that?
Looks like it's the Maple Leaf hat.
Ah.
Seen some of those, seen some rocks as hats.
Yep,
put anything on your head.
Supporting your team, there's the numbers between these two, Canada and Sweden. Final round robin game at the Ford World Men's Curling Championship 2013. We're getting underway after the break into the 6th end. And I think the respective coaches would have been reasonably happy, look, with the two teams' performances thus far.
Yeah, they'd be pretty happy. I'm sure Canada took a while to settle in a little bit, but they were able to settle themselves into this game. Just keep it maybe a little bit simpler, bail out when needed to, and they did that early. So first stone in, corner guard. Usual start is 6th end, 90%.
Victor's in good shape in this game, 90% for the Swedish lead.
And always you line up against your opponent, you look at how your stats compare, and 7% difference between the two leads. So they keep stats throughout the week. It would be plus minus any 5% more, and that would be a plus for the Swedish lead. 2 perfect stones coming out of the break. Always different because they run the broom over the ice. Sometimes comes out a little bit quicker and straighter. Not a problem for Victor Stahl as Shaw probably, pardon me, puts that one tight to the rings.
Group. Needs to curl a bit.
It's all there.
Yep.
He's hoping this is going to come round a bit.
Beside it.
Touches the yellow.
Well, just that little bump, and Nicholas being quite aggressive here. Could play the little hit and roll, decides, no, I'm going after it. Going to play the intern freeze right into the pocket.
And Frederick's had good success in this game, so confidence in him, 95%.
Vi är frys och dött. Ja, vänta då. Linjen är perfekt. Perfekt linje, limma dit den. Okej, vänta då. Snart kan vi dutta lite. Dutta ner en jämn höjd. Nej, liten dutt. Ska dutta lite. Bra. Fint.
Well, little tap. Still.
Making the run roll.
Yeah. Oh. I like this. Yeah. Right on the nose. Okay.
Never hesitate to throw these.
E.J. Harnden, 75%. Being a bit wayward in this game, according to the stats.
Leaves the guard. Instead now it's a Canadian rock. Canada lying 1. But options with those yellows both ways for Sweden. They're going to put another one in there, trying to line it up again.
Känns längre, men 10 har jag Heder.
Bak 4. Har du bak 4?
Ja, den är okej.
Bak 4.
Den är okej. Det är bra fart.
Bara fart. Punkt 4.
Dutta lite.
Ja, hårt måste gå.
Samma fart som förra, punkt 4.
Hårt! Hårt, Ricken, hårt! Hårt! Fint. Bra så. Bra.
Well, really having those stones out in front, important placement. Canada again forced to play the run back. And all just one stone. Ryan Harnden unable to make the perfect freeze, bounces off, forces run back after run back. This is 2 straight for E.J. Harnden now.
Yep. Whoa.
Well, gets contact on that top one and gets all of them out of the 4-foot. And Sweden lying 2. It opens up the center line with those big weight shots, able to allow the corner guards to be used now. Sweden still, it's their stone, but it opens things up.
Den här finns ju, men ganska tjockt. Det är 2/3 för att sätta den.
Okay.
A lot of thought process. Going to peel the corner, knowing they lie too. Canada hooks around that other corner guard. They have the in off. 88 would be another plus for the Swedish team. That was 88. Solid number for Sebastian Kraup.
Elsewhere on sheet D, Switzerland and the Czech Republic, 3-1 to the Swiss. Sixth end, UG Sneetel with the last stone. Trying to level things up in this game. Czechs, remember, on 6 wins.
Well, Ryan Fry makes the hit and roll there, but it is 2 for the Czech Republic, so they tie things up. They're through 6. Czech Republic, a win. They're into the playoff mix, depending what happens in this game, straight through or a tiebreaker.
So many scenarios. Bottom line for any of these teams, though, is first of all secure the win. And after that, who knows?
Well, great roll by Ryan Fry. Now has Sweden in a position where they have to decide what to do. Could go with the out turn, but it could jam. Might be into just playing an in-turn freeze down to it. But that's what that run back from E.J. Harnden did. It opened things up, allowed play to the wings.
Kör då, linjen är bra. Kolla, gå för linje också. Kolla upp, ni har det. Kolla upp, det är bra ut. Nej, kör för fart. Perfekt linje. Perfekt linje, kör som ni är. Ligger bra grabbar, kör som ni gör.
They're working hard at this one.
Well, comes down, sits in behind, in front of the tee line. Weight came down, so they decide they weren't going to make it there. It was probably going to overcurl if they take it right down to the face. So now Ryan Fry has to follow it down, try and sit on the corner. As you see, 80% for Ryan Fry. Middle of the lineup, a little bit lower for this Canadian team.
Where is it? On it! Just line. You're topping it a lot.
Yep.
Well, just touches it a little bit, doesn't get second shot out of it. They don't push it far enough.
I thought it like we're sweeping it for line.
I was sweeping it for line.
Now it looks like reasonably easy meet for Sweden.
Jag tycker din uppgift är okej också. Men den är så jävla farlig om jag klarar över och sitter där. Får han den. Om vi rullar av, ligger 100. Vi ner den där också.
Han kommer ha den här alla gånger. Dock så är det bara... Jag tycker han måste ju sätta den perfekt också. Han får den. Det är... Alltså, optimala är väl hit.
Ja, den kommer han kanske ändå dra här i och för sig tillräckligt långt fram.
Det är okej.
Då har han den också att frysa.
Kör dubbeln nu, jag är på det.
Ja. Det är svårt att gå ovanför den. Jag kollar vilken hand som ser bäst ut nu. In en halv borde ändå nicka ut den där, va? Det är på gränsen, men det är halvt tunnare än det går det garanterat. Så bort med slagstenen sen.
Initial look was, I think, rolling to the other side to lie to, but you risk jamming. Nose leaves a double back for Canada, or a hit and roll where they could sit on the corner. Double themselves, get rid of the reds. nomination for Nicholas Edin.
Halv är på gränsen, då tickar vi nog ut den där.
Vilken halv?
Jag har mer än en stensluff, så går jag garden så blir det sen då.
Svara.
Mer. Där ja.
So I think outturn the call. 78%, lower numbers for Nicholas Edin, including 2 misses that gave up the 3. Well, the double roll it right out the top, so leaves them lying 2. Nicholas Edin already a winner in Victoria as they win the Victoria Curling Classic just last week.
Catches sight of themselves in the big screen.
Well, Brad Jacobs trying to find a way to set up 2. He still has the forefoot to draw 2. To pick up 1 if needed, but he wants to score more than that. So he's at 88%. Come up with some big shots.
Back 4.
Well, line's good.
A high-scoring game. Just multiple ends scored so far.
Just line. Back 4. Right off. Stay with it. Yep. Whoa.
Just waiting for it to try and make its move. Comes down, sits right on the corner.
Nicely placed by the Canadian skip. He does have last stone.
Svårt att veta hur det är.
Jag tror jag slår in några taker här. De går bara rakt. De går bara rakt. Så att det här, jag tror inte, det kommer inte greppa. Det tror jag inte.
Relatively thin, is it not?
Exakt.
Jävla tunn bara.
Ja, jag tror
Jag har
det.
ju frysningen också, men den kommer vara nästan helöppen. Den här frysningen har vi inte bra för en chatt ändå.
Halv räcker väl inte. Allt tunnare än halv borde räcka då.
Det är bäst tunnare så. Om den här
Jag är på den. Ja, det är det bästa.
Would have been nice to get a hair more curl. Well,
Then it makes it sharper. It makes it easier.
yeah,
He's going to play this.
you're right.
Om jag får ta den själv på slutet, för jag kan se. Det är riktigt tungt. Snart lär man se ut som en riktig clown.
Ja.
Snart lär man se ut som en riktig clown. Vi kan sätta deras corner, men...
Well, playing it to slash this one in.
Ja, jag gillar henne.
Looked at this as having an option later in the end no matter what. As the Canadian said, it is fairly thin on the wide side. You never know what you're going to get going out this wide also. Tough shot here for Nicholas Edin.
You don't usually see too much going on out as far out as that in the wings.
Well, try and punch that one right across, and look at that. Slides it straight through the house. Made that look relatively simple.
Crowd appreciating it. Very skillful.
And just touches theirs up, so this will be the first force of the game as Canada forced to draw for 1 and tie the game up. Going a little bit wider.
One game is already over. Norway built up a huge lead. They've had a 4-2, and it's now got them to 11, and that game is over.
Their alternate Marcus Hoiberg able to get in the game as well.
A bit of practice for him. So Norway have done all they can. They've got themselves a win. They'll just have to wait and see what happens elsewhere after the conclusion of the remaining round-robin games.
They are now Canadian fans because if they Sweden win, that would eliminate them. This one comes right in as able to get the one, but only one after a great shot by Nicolas Sedin.
That was the shot of the end. Nicolas Sedin's final shot. That stopped Canada from getting more than 1 point. So after 6 ends, it's Canada 6, Sweden 6. You're watching live coverage of the Ford World Men's Curling Championship 2013, a featured game in this final series of round-robin matchups. Canada against Sweden, 6-all. 6 ends.
Thing just walks.
Shot.
Anything can still happen in this one.
Ja, den är... Det är 8, så den kan gå lite... Ja, Peder! Ja, ja, ja! Ja!
Måste!
Ja!
Bara fart!
Den är bra.
Bara fart!
Bajs 4.
Peder har den, han kallar av.
Det kommer ut lite grann på andra sidan.
Fint.
Both teams have settled down a bit and building a new end.
One important one for Ryan Harnden, and he's had trouble with one of his stones. They've had a few little miscues. Try and play the freeze. If Sweden could ever blank this end, trying to get a tie game into the 8th, and they have 2-to-1 hammers. Looking in that scenario, trying to get hammer into the 10th end of what we know is going to come down to the 10th end.
Come on!
You just lost it. I don't know what happened to that. It made a funny move right there, eh?
So it was perfect.
Not horrible.
It's always interesting when you're expecting that freeze to be made. Nicholas is probably thinking, okay, I'm going to be playing the freeze on top of it. Instead, it comes up short, and now they're drawing to the wide side, to lie 2.
Bra 21.
Ja, den är nog helt okej. Ni har den. Sitt då. Sitt.
Oh, they need it to sit, though.
Sorry.
That one slides right through It will be quicker going to the wing. Victor Shaw won't be all that pleased on that one. You hear him saying sorry.
I don't know if I like the run. Okay.
I think Canada right now, that run doesn't help them. They can draw around, try and force in the end.
Good speed here.
Got centerline guards up in front.
Yep.
Hard.
Come on, guys.
Hard, boys.
These are taut. Come on.
Hard.
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 Got room.
Hard. Whoa.
For the top. Okay, for the top.
Whoa. Whoa, Fry.
Whoa.
Off, Fry.
Okay, that's fine.
Well, they decide to freeze the top one. We look over China, Finland. China lying 1 in a 5-4 game, and Leo Ray, Chinese skip, looking to try and get in there, try and get a second point. If he can get into the forefoot.
China looking to get on that 6-win mark.
And the Canadian bandwagon, along with Switzerland. They need those 2 teams to win to have 5 losses come into play. Very nice. Leo Ray right down to their own, so they get 2, and they lead 7-4 now after 7 ends.
Chinese looking in good shape as we go back to our featured game.
And the run back ability of both of these teams is fantastic. As just making this so easy. Just he had 3 stones going and right on the nose. As they get them all, don't disturb that yellow rock.
Not at all. Not at all. These have worked well for both teams. Made them look very easy. They've been absolutely spot on.
Line's good. Line's really good.
Help it out there a bit, Fry.
Line's perfect.
Still wait. Yep. Take it, Fry.
Hard, Fry.
That's good.
Well, another one, just another fantastic curling shot, and could say that a lot in this game, as that one goes right around, well protected.
Yep, great final position for Canada.
Och ganska tight, men bak 8-ish. Är det här?
So Frederick on his first showed the hit shot, the hit weight, playing the run back. Now he's got to show the finesse and play the intern tap back.
Yep. Bakton. Yep. Yep. Hard. Bakton. Yep. Hard. Down there. Hard.
Well, that's a big scrub to get it by. Now they just want to roll it off. I don't think he ever got that out and gave it a chance.
Tight, bara får inte riktigt ut det. Nej.
Det är bra.
Corner are red. Yeah, or even just right here.
And he might just pick the back one.
Pardon?
Freeze the top red. Like corner. Put a piece.
Good.
What if we go this? What if we go around?
I mean, he picks the back one. That's not doing him any good because we just go here.
Whatever you like, Brad. If we just freeze ours, it might give him a pretty natural triple too. Like if I'm
The crowd trying to G
he just goes peel right on the
up
nose.
their team.
Corner freeze the top yellow. Shouldn't be a hole.
I don't know if I should take it over like that.
Huh?
I think if you're gonna go around, I think you have to be T-line.
We got lots of time.
That just might leave him a complete ban. You know what I mean?
It's not bad.
Top 4.
You don't like just
plunking one just around that yellow?
I think he just picks our back one then.
But he could pick his own too.
I think if anything, you freeze.
And he's gonna be going through a tight hole to do that. Right?
Kind of like that.
Freeze the card, right? Takes away a run.
Well, they take a quick look back at the time clocks.
See, the thing is, he's going to want to hit this. If we come around, he's going to want to clear this off and
Into
run
that.
this into here. And it's probably just going to take this one.
Yeah.
And we're going to be left with
but he's going to
this
be in the
one
ring.
here. Huh?
And he's going to have 2 in the ring.
And we're going to have 2 in the ring.
Yeah. But well, you don't like going here?
Well, that's not bad.
Like,
yeah, that's a good shot too.
He's got to go through a real thin hole to pick it.
Yeah, and he can pick that all he wants because then we can come in here.
If we go here, can he
And his
just go
angles
like
are
that?
bad. Huh?
If we go here, can he just rip that straight back? What if we go here?
Probably.
Yeah, but then that opens it up, right?
Well,
oh, you go here, you mean?
I think if we go here, you just whack. That's gone. That's going to straight jam.
That's what I'm worried about. That
I think if you go here, it's probably better. Then he
if we go
rips it,
there,
and
I
then we
think
throw
he's
another
picking the
card.
back.
I think we want to go here. So,
Not fun, because then we just bury another one.
Well,
around.
why don't we
if we
try?
throw it
Why
here.
don't I try and just freeze our red then as much as we can? And if we can tap, maybe even change the angle.
Still want to leave it open.
Let's play that.
Well, it's Ryan the one that's saying, all right, let's make a decision, get back there, and
Again,
make a play, because they have
Brad.
spent a fair amount of time.
not convinced, but not convinced the other way either. So
If I throw the weight that I threw on the,
No, you're in good
I need
path
less
here.
than that. What
You're
I've
in
been
good
throwing.
path.
Okay.
So let's see what the end result is.
No for line. Line looks okay. Room. Yep. Yep.
We're not topping the red.
Room. Yep. Are we freeze? Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa. Going sideways.
Yep.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Yep. Whoa.
sit.
It's not what they wanted.
No, it was going sideways on him near the end.
It's not bad, Fry.
Makes that yellow run not available anymore. Can pick the back one, and that's what Ryan Fry, who's probably the most familiar, he's made trips over to Europe when he was a member of the Brad Gushu team out in Newfoundland, overseas in Europe playing some of the Champions Tour events.
So he does have that European international experience. And the skip is bound to lean on him to an extent.
So they pick out shot stone. Sweden lies one. Jacobs knew that if he does that, we just hook around. Again, able to get through that port, pick it out. Now Ryan Fry need to try and get around. He can go top button now.
Yep. Hard line. Really hard line. Really hard.
Line only.
Whoa. Heavy. Room, man. Room.
We're at least back 4. Back 8.
Back 8.
Close.
No.
We're back there.
Not if it's heavy. Right off.
Oh, they're so close to yellow, so close to the second yellow.
And they were right off because they knew it was heavy, but it goes right back. That one just gets by everything.
Just. And just again.
It's like a perfect little wall that it just...
Just watch it keep getting closer and closer by everything. Canada continued to just stay beside it because they knew it was going to be heavy.
The yellow hits that red, I think.
Yeah, but the red might drag it. The yellow past it too.
It's hard to see how hard it's hitting.
2-3 redan.
Well, we'll see if there's any drag action on this. They're going to try and go hit this on the broom side of that red one. Try and have it come back, see if it catches anything. Worst case, they open things up to the forefoot because that one back button.
Whoa, 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 whoa! Utpetad! Whoa, whoa!
Ta en halv är det.
Okay,
Okay.
Well, and it'll miss everything. Doesn't touch that top red.
Okay. Här bra.
So need to catch it.
Sorry.
Hard to say what if it would have made contact with that red, no matter where he hit it.
What do you want this? Halfway? Okay.
Brad, we could come right here.
You want to get in there first? See how that's lined up?
I like that.
Well, it's always interesting when the skip's down at the other end to yell down to about a change of plans.
It's not a bad angle.
I guess if you end up top 4 just around, not that bad, right?
No. Yeah. Yeah, okay, Fry. That's fine, yeah.
Where do you want, edge?
Edge is good.
Remember, we're 6-all in this featured game between Canada and Sweden. Win for Sweden, essential if they're to have any chance of progressing.
Well, 2 teams that are off tonight. Denmark, 7-4, is into a playoff. Tiebreaker depends on how everything shapes up tonight. And Scotland's in the 1-2 game. Canada can meet them with a win, but so can Sweden.
Stay with that,
No.
Winner of this plays Scotland in the 1-2 game.
Heavy.
Frozen on ours. Frozen on ours.
Well,
Heavy. It's really coming in.
Well. Yep.
Well, again, this one walks in, makes its way, and the weight comes off once the curl starts to happen. They were calling for it to tap, coming right beside it, comes right down.
Drag på chappen då.
Very nicely judged.
Drag då. Ner.
And he's allowing himself a little smile. He's been quite tense in the early part of this game.
Jag tror att chappen är ganska nära.
Well, there's some separation between those 2 stones, so they're wondering how much, if it'll drag, sort of act as 1 stone. But I think there's enough distance. They won't drag. Can get everything going and clear everything out. Hit this one right.
Den är hård så, då får man en tunn där. Då ligger den kvar. De 3 ryker.
Chapp tror jag.
Hur tunn jag tar nästan. Det är jävligt svårt att få den in den vinkeln.
Jag tror nästan det blir mer effekt på det. Det är jobbigare att jamma fast den där än att jamma fast vår egen. Vi kan ingenting att skjuta sen. Jag tycker det är bra.
Jag tror hellre att du kanske vill spela den för att få den rakare på den. Den ryker. Våran kanske ryker.
Men den där är jävligt tunn för att den ska
Player and coach bench up behind
Vi drar på en hård
Eva Lund, Oscar Eriksson.
Okej.
Ja, tjock så är det okej.
Ja, jag tror mer på tjocka, men okej. Ja.
Den här toppstenen blir inte av oavsett. Ja, nej.
So the question, does it drag? Just, I think you got to hit it on the broom side of nose there.
Kan vi stanna på kanten, är det en bonus också?
Ja.
Touch man.
Ja.
Well, watch things fly here for Nicholas Edin.
Giving it big weight.
Trying to catch it high side. Does everything go? Everything but the 1 red. But the key for Nicholas, it clears out the 4-foot. The draw was in such a good place by Brad Jacobs.
He liked it. 1-2. 2 reds off they go. Loses the yellow.
They were most importantly worried about those ones in the 4-foot, getting them out, getting that scoring zone open.
Jag tror fan visst hade chappen tagit där också.
Well, Brad Jacobs Just drew in with his first. Can force. Looking to draw around.
Line's good. Just right on the pin.
You can wait, sit. You can wait all day on that.
Line's fine.
This is looking a little bit heavy.
Take the shot.
Well, it goes behind.
I'd rather make him draw.
Me too.
He hasn't thrown a draw in a few minutes. See what happens. A couple flat spots around here.
Good throw.
Well, you hear them talking about hasn't thrown the draw in a while.
Let's see how he does. He would rather make a Dean throw a draw.
I think I would too. I'd rather have him playing a draw as opposed to the hit.
Depends where you're coming from.
He's got to get the forefoot. Sure, just talking weight with his front end. Try and give him a number, split time using the stopwatches to determine.
So last stone of the 7th end.
Okay.
Nothing yet from the sweepers. Out a little bit wider than that same path from Brad Jacobs. Starting to come down and take the curl. And as soon as it took that curl, the weight went right off, and it comes right to the button for one.
And that means after 7 ends, Sweden are back in the lead. Canada 6, Sweden 7. Welcome back to our live coverage of the Ford Women's Curling Championship 2013. Our featured game in this last session of round robin action is Canada against Sweden. There you can see the score so far, 7-6 to Sweden, 8th end. Some tasty shots in that last end, really good stuff.
That one right to the button. Corner guard will go out for the Canadian lead, Ryan Harnden.
Try to curl if you can. Good line. Yep. Good line.
Shot, Ryan.
Well, the usual first stone in, corner guard. As we look at the comparison of numbers.
And it's pretty even Steven, isn't it, between the two leads?
Linjen är bra. Jag tror den är där, va?
Both have had a couple of miscues just in setting things up, most of the time with the hammer, trying to make the freeze. That one will overcurl a little bit, leaves the wrong side exposed. Because of where it is, Canada wants to move it a bit as opposed to just a straight freeze.
Stay close. Oh, front. Yep.
Well, moves it back.
Let's go to sheet 8. China against Finland, 8th end, 7-4 to the Chinese. And again, it's the Finnish skip with the last stone.
Aku Kausti has to play a quiet wait. There's a cluster of stones around the forefoot, and will able to play the raise double. Moves them around, they'll take a look. It's one yellow, it seems, and it is 7-5 with that single point.
It was a busy house. That was a gutsy last throw from the Finnish skip. One game already completed, Norway against Russia. 11-3 comprehensive win for Norway. And they have to just sit and wait and see what happens with the rest of these games.
They came out and meant business, but they've had too many games where they didn't come out early, and that might mean they just missed the playoffs.
It's pretty uncharacteristic because Norway are usually there or thereabouts at these World Championships.
Lock it on. Line's good. Lock it on.
Yep. Come on, guys.
Lock it on, boys.
Come on, gotta go.
Go! 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 Go!
Well, they can't get past the front. Chips just rolls off. It's Canada lying one with that one on the side of the button. That one just touching the front. You see the high center line guards. You see difference in the seconds. Big advantage, Fredrik Lindberg.
Inte mellanåt.
Vi är vid klassen, är det längre än så?
Risk över.
Vi är längre än kvasten.
Bara Viktor. Bara stanna.
Vid kvasten.
They don't want it too tight, knowing that Canada will play the run.
Okay.
They're hoping for it higher and to stop curling.
Like, we got to play our red, Brad.
Yeah, we can do that. I mean, yeah. Either that or try to...
I think you're just pushing ours.
We get pretty deep into the end, eh?
What do you say?
You make that.
I know, but
I like making
It's
a
not
play.
bad.
What?
Run.
I don't like drawing in there. I'd rather make a
You
play.
guys like that?
yeah, you got to get the shooter out, though.
It's
I know,
either that or
I know.
run those top guards and maybe get
Pack weight.
the yellow off.
Yeah, you could do that. We could play the run, too.
Play the run now if you want.
I think
We'll
that's
leave
the
a
call.
guard. We'll still leave a center guard, though.
Just try
That's
to pick
fine.
this off.
Well, you probably roll this way. Are we trying to catch their yellow?
I kind of like the run, guys.
Yeah. Can I play our other red? You guys, wait, you guys like this?
I like it, yeah.
Yep. Whoa.
Hard!
Whoa, yep.
Hard!
Well, they want to try and clear things up, get the yellow off of the forefoot. They'll pick their one top 12, but that clears up the center line.
Sheet D, Switzerland against Czech Republic, 8th end. They're 3-all. Sven Mikkel with the last stone for Switzerland.
Well, he has a 1, and Yiji Schneidel not able to quite set things up, just a little bit off, and trying to pick that yellow out. Shooter won't stick around, so able to chip that one off, get 2, and a 5-3 lead for Switzerland. Need a win, avoid having to possibly play in a qualification for the Olympics. Well, trying to play the peel, and that one goes off to the far side of the house. Well, trying to get play away from the center right now. They know they're going to be fourth shot. They'll have to make a play to the center. This goes top.
It's close.
Top 12 foot in front of the tee. Force Sweden to play a perfect freeze.
Room. Got room. Lots of line.
Line's fine.
Yep. Yep.
Hard line.
Hard line now.
Hard, guys.
Wait. Hard.
Go.
Now.
Well, not able to get around. Comes up short.
Grab?
What?
Grab?
I don't know.
No.
No?
I knew it had to go. That's why I swooped it.
He knew. That didn't act very natural, eh?
I don't know. How did you throw it? Did they think it was good weight?
Oh, yeah? I thought so.
Den här kan man slå vicka ut så via den, men det är farligt.
Bestäm dig.
Den är helt okej med en 8. Om man inte råkar nudda den.
Ja, bestäm dig.
Ja, vad tycker ni då?
Jag tycker att den känns risky.
Va?
Jag tycker den känns riskfylld.
Ja.
Jag tycker han får kola lite mer så vi rannar ut.
Ja, men han vill
tappa tid. Lägg garden. Det är okej.
Ja, kör gard. Ja. Ganska nära, men helst inte så de kan vecka in på den.
Ja. Mitt 12 eller?
Det är lite mindre just nu.
Well, comparison of the numbers advantage. Kraup over Fry. 91% for Sebastian Kraup. The Swedish team leads 7-6.
Viktor om dem. Linjen är okej. Haken nära. Linjen är okej. Bara Viktor. Heder, bara Viktor. Linjen är bra. Bara Viktor. Hake just nu. Bara rent, Heder. Bara rent. Kort om kastet. Bara rent.
Lite kort om fast.
Perfekt linje.
Kom ner. Japp, japp, japp. Hård!
Well, lots of different options that they had. They decide on the center line guard. Play around the center.
Heavy draw weight.
I guess if we touch the guard and roll in, it's not horrible.
Not bad. That's not bad. Okay. Do that. Back 4, back 8. Back 4.
He's going to have to be coming off a shelf to get to this. It's like back 8 weight.
It should go in. Line hook.
Huh?
Line hook's pretty good. Sure, right?
Well, they will play this very tight to the front, knowing they could chip and roll in also and force Sweden to come after and make a play on it.
Yep. Just line. Yep. Smacky. Yep. Whoa. Back 4. Whoa. 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 Back 4. Room. Room.
Just back 4.
Room. Room. Whoa. Yep. Yep. Hard now. Hard. Right on.
Well, by the guard now. Play the little tap.
Good.
And leaves them lying shot. Now they have that red they just threw. They have the red slash in. Well, they had to be very tight to the front. Just got by and
And it is very nicely played. Nice touch.
Well, 8th end, an important end to score. Question is, do you guard?
Skjuter han sen, den garden då?
Det kanske han gör, men lägger vi den här då?
Eller så drar vi in den här.
Nej, jag gillar inte. Ändå va? Ganska för lätt hänt.
Snedfrysa här, det är risk att man gör den enklare då.
Ja, men det gillar inte jag heller. Jag tycker bara...
Vi kan inte riktigt lämna det. Alltså sätta den här så ligger vi ju riktigt illa. Bara garda in det också.
Inte om vi lägger på utsidan här.
På min sista sten så är det klockan upp ju.
Vi måste spela snart ändå.
Ja, det är svårt att göra den bra.
Ja,
kommer vi kort.
Snedfrysa röd där.
Ja, okej. Han ser en fjärdedel ungefär alltså.
Ja. Vi lägger garden där.
Ja.
Mitt 12.
Trean.
Jag är lite tight.
Garden.
Ja. Det är våra sten båda två. Mitt för den vänstra. Helst inte
I think
lämna någon
talking about time as they look back at each other.
Yeah. I wish we knew. We could have a laugh too. All you Swedish fans listening and watching, you have the inside story there.
Bra fart. Heder rent.
Kanske lite långt. Topp 12.
Heder rent.
Ja, vi är nära.
Risk över. På kvasten. Den är risk över.
Vi är nära.
Well, electing to play the guard, don't want to leave a hole.
Jag är nöjd med gul. Sitt.
Lite längre än gul. Lite längre än gul.
Sitt.
Well, that one really warped in there at the end. Actually, may have got a little bit underneath that center line guard.
Yeah, bit too far round.
You can't,
He's going to have a freeze, eh?
freeze to what?
He's
gonna be top button.
Right. Yeah, you'd be top buttoning. I don't like that.
Like control?
I think if anything, we got to control. You like control weight here? I was thinking like normal.
Well, it's just, you can't,
We play this soft.
yeah, like, just, we just got to get it in here to push it out.
Like hot.
I like control.
I like
yeah.
control. What do you think this is going to do, guys?
Gotta
Just
think
curl up a hair?
Gotta think it's gonna curl a hair. Just a hair off nose, eh?
Right there, Fry.
Yeah. Hair off nose?
Just a hair off nose, yeah. Just a hair high.
I want to run this red, or pardon me, yellow onto the red. To that one top button. I think a little bit tighter than they wanted. That's the problem. I think why Sebastian Kropp was talking about leaving that one higher. This hair high and nose. Could leave Canada at line 2.
Eller att den åker dit och man kan vicka lite grann på den här.
They have their stones in the top part of the rings as you see the skip comparison. Low hits for Jacobs. A hit he's playing. Well, draws low for Nicholas Sedin.
Come on!
Well, trying to run this one in, and it's going to hang out a little bit and go just over the top of everything. Shooter stays out in front as another hit goes astray for Jacobs.
No, they haven't been going well, as his percentages showed.
Real good.
And a miss on that occasion.
Perfect weight, too.
Kan ju ligga lite högre upp, samt skjuta den andra stenen istället.
Ja.
Okay. Lite längre ut, gör inget heller. Ja.
We'll see if they put this in the same spot or try and bring it tighter into the rings. Nicholas Sedin.
Rent. Ganska nära. Rent.
His final stone.
Vi är väldigt nära.
Jag tror att vi kan vara inne i bot om vi inte får eka hela vägen.
Ja, vi är full 12.
Vänta!
Mer än full 12.
Nej, Viktor.
Vi är mer än full 12. Vi bajtar om.
Frysta väldigt snabbt.
Ja, då behöver vi gå i så fall.
Inte bit.
Well, they go top 12 foot.
And there is a sigh.
Jag måste nästan själv föreslå när...
Needed to get that one underneath the center line guard a bit. Now the same type shot, except it's closer.
Type of weight. Peel? It's hard to touch this too, isn't it?
You gotta hit like half.
Pretty hard. I was thinking normal.
Okay, I don't mind that.
Because I don't think it's going to do anything after watching that last one.
Okay. Half rock.
Right there, Fry.
Well, half rock with Peel should roll out. But if he runs it back, could get 2 out of this. Try and take the lead. Brad Jacobs, big opportunity with this one.
His last hit was a little bit awry. Where's this one going?
Well, and they'll both roll too far. The yellow stays up at the top. Makes contact, gets his one to tie things up.
Yep, after 8 ends, we've got a game on our hands here. Canada 7, Sweden 7. A lot of drama out here in this final session of round-robin games. What about Switzerland against the Czech Republic?
Jiří Sneedl and his team trying to come up with something. He's facing 2 sweepers. We're close the whole way, but it's sliding on them as Sven Mikkel gets on it, goes back, and it's a steal of 1. So looking good for the Swiss to pick up the lead. They have a 3-point lead heading to the 10th end of that game.
And that would take Switzerland on to 6 wins as well, same as the Czech Republic, and right in the mix. 7 each in our featured game. Canada against Sweden. We always knew it was going to be close between these two. A win for Canada, and they go into the 1-2 playoff against Scotland.
Farten är där, farten är där. Sitt.
Ligger på till.
So 7-7, and the cat and mouse game goes back and forth of what they want to do.
Yeah, it's been like that all the way through.
Canada wants to force in this 9th end, try and have hammer into the 10th end. I'm sure Sweden would love a blank. Ryan Harnden trying to get this one top 4 foot.
Real good line. Perfect line. Clean. Top 4. Full 4. Yep. 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 Yep.
Well, 1 stone now to the top of the 4 foot, and Sweden will now play to it. I'd see a bunch of peels and replacement of the guards. Victor Schall needs to put this one right in on top now.
Ni har den. Linjen är bra, ni har den.
Bara fart.
Wow. Kala.
Well, the free's in a pretty good spot. We'll see where this one can get to for E.J. Harnden. They want to force the issue around the center line right now.
Hard line.
Line's good, just wait. It's good.
Group.
Hey, well, we gotta wait.
Well, yep.
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 Whoa, flying.
Whoa, whoa,
Whoa!
whoa, 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 whoa.
Whoa!
Well, little bump as it is shot stone still for Canada.
Back to sheet 8, China against Finland, 7-5 to the Chinese. We're in the 9th end, and this is the Chinese skip. Ray trying to extend their lead.
Looks like trying to promote a stone, trying to just push it into the 4 foot. To get a single point right now, facing 2. Has the angle, they can tap it up right into him. And nicely done. So China gets a 3-point lead to the 10th end.
So China looking good on sheet 8. Norway already with a win here, 11-3, 7 each.
Wait's good.
Again, in our featured game,
Halfway.
Canada against Sweden.
A little bit.
Yep.
Okay.
Clean. Clean. Yep. Yep.
Yep. Gotta go.
Yep.
Gotta
Yep.
go.
Yep.
Gotta
Yep.
go.
Yep.
Gotta go, 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 go.
Well, it was the peel of the guard by Sweden. They're going to do it again. Look for one mistake on one of these.
Lite drygt.
Bra spel. Bra.
Well, Canada replaced the guard into third stones now of this 9th end of play. 7-7 in this game, and
Really high.
Needs to curl.
all those 5 loss teams trying to have Canada find a way to come out with this one, then possible 5-way tie.
Line's good.
Line's good now. Clean. Yep. That's good.
Right, nice.
Thought I saw the indication. Trying to run this one back in. Sebastian Kraup. They're going to miss it, want to miss it to roll it out.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Vet, ta bort den. Den är körd. Bort.
Hede, ut med den andra cornern lite om det går. Ut med nästa. Okej, bra.
Well, they bump it over, leave another one on that side. No real out-turn path.
Yellow now, don't.
Guard the yellow.
Yeah.
We're on the same page.
Seem to be getting on now.
Well, they got settled in. It took them a couple ends to settle in for this one. Now it's just another game, battling back and forth.
No, if we have to switch. No, line's fine. A lot of curl now. A bit.
Needs to curl. Yep. Yep. Hard. Whoa.
Expect to see some guards moving again. It's the strategy of the Swedish boys. Away it goes, hoping to catch another
look
one.
at that run back, able to run it and pick right onto the yellow. Get shots down as we see handshakes over on sheet D. Switzerland with a 6-3 win. They run the Czech Republic out of stones. So no matter what, even with a Sweden win, with the Czech Republic loss, Canada is into the playoffs. With a loss, they're in the 3-4 game. With a win, they're in the 1-2.
Yeah, so they're in one or the other. If they win here, they're into the 1-2 by virtue of that defeat by the Czech Republic. And Switzerland really come good in the latter part of the round robin. 6 wins for a very young team.
They have done their part, what they need to do today. They've got 2 wins, so they sit at 6-5. We'll be cheering on the Canadian side right now. Three teams are 6-5.
Unusual for them all to be cheering for Canada. It'll be a first.
Well, this one going to be on the red Canadian stone as the shooter rolls off. So Sweden lying 1.
Canada really having to be pretty aggressive in this end, and that's what happens sometimes.
Well, trying to go after it. Over curls on them. Touches the front.
Side from Ryan Fry.
Ren gard eller?
Nej. Frys. 3 eller 7?
We'll see the decision of what they want to play come down to it. I think they can freeze to the nose of theirs and lie shot stone. You move it at all, they probably have a double. And that redstone is socked in there behind those 3 guards. What a huge run back that was by Sebastian Kroh.
That was the shot of the end so far.
Farten är nog ganska bra.
Linjen är bra.
Gärna curla.
Liten dutt.
Curla.
Frys just nu.
Behöver vi dutta så måste vi gå.
Ren frys.
Ingenting.
Ren frys.
All right to the face. Comes in, lies. Looks like 1-2, very close.
Let's take a closer look. Difficult to tell with that other Yellowstone in front.
I'll hear the comment, think it goes for sure. Ryan thought it went on to the red. I think it goes over the top. And there's a little bounce on that one, and that's enough separation. Brad Jacobs needs a double with his final stone.
Yep.
We'll see if it goes. Get by. Get out. And it will push it far enough. We'll see what the call is. Draw for one. Or can you play around off of those, or the run back?
Is there another option?
He has 3 guards to run back, and if you stick it, it's for 3. Look, that one goes well over the top of everything. Nestles in to stay in the rings.
But really good stone from the Canadian skip. Has made it very, very difficult indeed for Nicolas Sedin.
I think as soon as Nicholas threw his first, he was thinking about this run back. We've seen so many in this game. Playing the center of those 3. He's close. Try and pick that one out. And there's the deuce. He picks that one. So Sweden with the run back was for 3, only gets the 2.
Yep, they still enjoyed that one. They're pumped up after 9 ends. It's now Canada 7, Sweden with the advantage 9.
Another look at that run back, able to just run it back, pick it out over the top.
Back to China against Finland, the second last stone.
Well, a chance here, Leo Ray will get to that 6 and 5 level. He can run Finland out of stones. Here it needs to make contact, make that yellow finish stone go away. And they'll do just that. So that runs Finland out of stones, and a victory 8-5. China defeats Finland. So now
on to 6 wins for China, and that's making it very interesting indeed. Quite a few teams on 6 wins now.
Now 4 teams needing a Canadian victory to come into play
for them to have a chance. But at the moment, it's the only game that's left, and we're into the final end, the 10th end. 9-7 to Sweden, remember.
Nice shot, Ryan. Shot, Ryan.
Well, Canada will try and set up there too. The first stone goes in. Second one will go in front. Important lineup of these stones. They don't want to stagger them and allow Canada to be able to draw around.
Jag tror den är där. Jag tror den är där.
Ja, gå längre ut än förra, kan glida på lite mer.
Den är lång också.
Ja, gå längre ut.
Den är fryst. Dutta lite.
Smiter förbi corner.
Dutta lite.
Well, that just gets by the corner guard. And they just bounce it a little bit. Not really the place they want to go with that one.
Okay.
We're close to the same.
Yeah, I know.
This run? No.
Should glide a bit better this one.
There's a real air of
Shots right.
apprehension and hush in here.
Now the crowd kind of waiting, trying to figure out whether to explode, get excited, to be loud, what to do.
Well, depends what happens on this sheet of ice. Two of the best curling nations on the planet. Head to head in this final round robin game.
Another guard?
Yeah, try to even them up.
Yeah.
And I need two, of course, to take things to an extra end. Obviously 3 to win.
Well, Canada lost this afternoon. A loss in their first game
It's all there.
yesterday, the day before.
It's all there.
Heavy.
So now needs 2 to tie, 3 to win here in the 10th end.
Sit.
Sweden,
Sit.
Canada. Sweden with a win is in the 1-2 game. A loss means they're in a logjam and uncertain of who will play where.
All will become clear at the conclusion of the game.
Could be very simple, no tiebreakers with a Swedish win. Trying to get both of them as they'll touch the one over, push it over to the side, roll the shooter right in. So there's a big shot. Fredrik Lindberg pushes that one off to the side.
You could have hoped for a better result there.
That's a shot that can win you a game by pushing that one out. No guards, now out in front that are protecting the rings. Sitting directly behind that redstone, it's guarding the white ice to the side of the house.
It's pretty good.
Yep. Hard line. Whoa. Yep.
Lots of
Whoa.
time.
Yep. Whoa.
It's all there.
Whoa.
Well, trying to use those Swedish stones now.
Yep. Whoa. Yep.
Keeps something in the house, a little tap. Sweden lying 2. We'll see how they go about it. They try and peel that one off the side.
Nej. Man kan inte ta en tunt eller på utsidan.
Den är svår, den är riktigt, kunde det.
Ja, okej.
Den här är lite ovanför, hård chapp, kommer ta den någonstans hit.
Ja. Men stanna inte fryst mot den andra då.
Ja, det kan du göra. Nej, då ska du ta 3/4. Ja, den kan inte hamna så förresten.
Nej. Ja.
Hård chapp, ta den lite utsida så blir vi av med de 2 i alla fall. Det är helt okej, rulla av med den också.
Ja. Ja. Spela in den eller?
Nej, out. Bättre. Eller vill du spela in den?
Ja, vill jag.
Touch över chappen.
Whoa. 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 Whoa.
Helt upp. Helt upp.
Well, trying to blast that one, have it spin up and out, trying to coerce it to go.
It didn't quite work.
Tried to throw it real hard and bounce it off of them.
Yeah, I like it.
but one shot. They get a stone in there.
Yep.
Now they try and go around, have a stone hidden.
Back 4. Good line. Yep. Yep, line. Yes, line. Hard. Hard line, hard line, hard line. Hard, guys. Really hard for line. Come on, guys. Push. Hard. Come on. Hard.
Crowd trying to help as well.
And they can't get past.
Good throw.
Good throw. What? Good throw. Yeah.
Eller så slår vi den nu.
Shoot.
Clearing och vicka in. Ganska mycket till när ska
It just looks like they're pushing the boom on like flat.
Oh, yeah.
flatness. Like it's not. Sweeping was doing nothing as soon as that started curling.
Nej, inte bara, okej.
Det är så emellan.
Well, just a matter of getting rid of one of those, trying to blast this one out.
Nej, rent. Japp, japp.
Ut med den. Kom igen, kom igen, kom igen.
And will hit roll off to the side. Interesting, they decide to play third shot as opposed to
Jag går inte matchfattar.
one in the
Even if
forefoot.
you're beside it. Even if you just top it here, as long as you keep the angle, right?
I think they didn't want to leave a short little hit and roll or anything behind that one top 8 foot.
Same weight, you figure?
Yeah.
Or you think it'll be a little quicker going to the wing?
Might be a hair quicker, but probably the same weight. We had to pound it for mine.
Always different going to the wing. It's a little bit different path that's been played a lot.
T-line. Yep. You got room.
Bit unknown territory.
You got room.
No, you gotta go for line.
Yep. Yep.
Well, it's starting to take the curl and the weight coming off. Need to get this one to the rings. And just comes up short, just a different path.
Well, that was always the concern.
Sorry, boys.
So tiny margins like that that can make the difference, not just the great shots.
Another little miss. You compare the thirds. Ryan Fry, 76% coming into the end, 92 for Sebastian Kraup. Now they have a hit.
And Kraup, of course, producing that magical shot earlier on.
Again, a Swedish win means no tiebreakers. Canada, Denmark in the 3-4 as the three-way tie would mean Canada, as Sweden has beat both of those teams. First of skip stones. And the nose hit to lie 3 for Sweden. Brad Jacobs, 2 stones remaining.
He has to make both of them count.
As Leo Ray watches on, he needs Canada to win.
China did their job, won their game over Finland, as did Norway.
Yeah. Firm?
Seems like Norway's been off the ice for about an hour and a half.
Had a nice early night after that comprehensive win over Russia, 11-3. Brad Jacobs, important couple of stones for him and for Canada.
E.G. Sneedle, Czech Republic skip.
Can only wait and watch as well and wonder what might have been. They've still had a very, very good week.
Like hit the red into the yellow, spin the red in, and try to roll behind the yellow. Unless you just want to do this.
It's not like we don't have time to lost. We have 3 minutes.
Call timeout.
So they're going to have a quick word with their coach, just take stock
I don't know really what
and have a think about things.
We're just looking at this.
What I'm thinking is if we make this,
He's got to play a perfect draw.
or if he chases it by any chance, he might
ticks
tick.
that? That's what I was thinking too.
Tick what?
If you make this,
Oh, this. 6.
He might
take this in, and it's
He's
showing
just gonna
that.
he's just gonna run this.
He might.
Yeah. No, he will.
I don't even know if we play. Even if we play that, I don't know how we score even 3. Anyways, this is probably the best way to score, no?
I think this is the best opportunity to
Yeah.
score. Gotta hope he leaves a double or misses a run back.
Yeah.
Can you go over the top of that?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I think you can throw Peel like there.
With the out turn?
Out turn?
Yeah.
The only way we can maybe... Yeah, it's pretty tough to go over the top of that, eh?
I think so.
Sorry, where do you think, Fred?
I'm thinking like there with...
There with Peel with the
Yeah.
out turn?
Like 3/4 is perfect, right?
Yeah, 3/4 will roll in there.
Well, then Coach Tom Coulterman.
Yeah.
Which
We're
one
gonna
is
hope
if
either
there's anything off?
Well, here,
To maybe get 2 reds in and maybe,
Yeah,
I don't know,
that's
roll
what I was
into
thinking.
here.
Tough though.
Very
I think
You like
you'd
to
have to
hit and roll?
roll this here and then what? Roll your shooter like here or something, maybe?
Boy, that's a pretty bad angle, though, eh?
He hits the open one and then we have a
Yeah.
shot for 2.
Yeah.
Maybe. Or he nuts and
Try it.
you have to make
That's
a
what-
triple and stick.
Yeah.
Are you going that way?
Yeah.
Okay.
Got you some TV time, Tom.
Well, there's the Swiss team. They're also waiting and watching. Well, need 2 to tie. Low numbers on his hits, which is surprising for Jacobs.
Hard! Come on!
Where is this one going to end up?
Well, hits, rolls over.
Good throw, buddy.
Nöjd med den andra.
Vi klarar på ganska bra där.
Oh,
Helst ta den här som jag lägger nu lite högre än den då, för den blir
Well,
svårare.
a draw to lie 2, trying to leave it so there's no double
Ja, exakt. 88. Ingen höger kan ju även driva mer än om vi har bra linje.
and make it tough to get a second point.
They need 2 points, remember, to take this to an extra end.
Sen lite säkrare. Däremot så kommer den här inte komma ut lika långt. Nej. Den här kommer gå hela...
One is not enough.
Försöker lägga den full vit liksom. Bredvid den röda.
So, Nicolas Sedin just has to make sure
Slänger en bite vit så.
that there is nothing on for the Canadian team to get that too.
Satsar lite då. Ja, lite.
Really, it's 82% for his draws, and really
Det är längre än vad mina tidigare var. Vänta.
the shot is to get Sweden into the playoffs.
Den är ganska lång. Okej, upp då.
And the 1-2 game against Scotland.
Var det långt B ställer de? Se till att ligga 2.
Säkert 2 grabbar.
Säkert 2. Med, säkert 2. Men sen...
Well, this one needs to stop as they'll take it back. Want to make the double tough. And so we'll have to play the double going into that yellow.
This there?
Okej, jag tror inte kom in i det riktigt.
Just the tension of the occasion,
We got another timeout, eh?
getting to all players.
You think it's there?
I don't know
Might
if
be
it's
there, right?
I don't know if you can make this double. If you can make this double, I think it's there. Oh, do you?
We only have one timeout?
Okay,
Oh.
thanks.
Well, they're just told they don't have another
You
timeout.
think that's
Not
there?
until the extra end, if there is one,
No?
and they get a
Not to
fresh
make
one.
this double.
But they
I
have
think
to
it
watch
just
their
sticks
time.
here.
There it is.
Well, we gotta hit.
1:30.
3/4 to
Just
get
have to
that.
be in the motion.
Close.
Well, they're both real tough. This is like hit nothing.
This is not something
long as
you
you
want
think
to
it's
rush
there, then I'm
for
fine.
sure.
There's a chance it's there.
Okay.
I think there's a chance.
Yeah.
Well, it's go after this, try and play it
Yeah.
red onto the yellow, red redirect to the other red, go back to the back one, or play a tough double to try and score 2. Angles, I don't know if they quite line up.
You sense, though, that he has to go for it.
Has to take the shot. Figure if you're going to try something, Nicholas kind of chuckling to see if it is there.
He's in a nice position. Either way, he's at least got the extra end, even if his opposing skip does make it. Last stone of this 10th end.
This one here to try to make it would be for 3. Try and go thin off of it, bounce it back, and just underneath both of them. Good effort for Brad Jacobs. He was pretty close.
What a finish to the game. It was a huge effort from the Canadian skip, but it does mean a victory for Sweden. They are into the 1-2 playoff against Scotland.
And eliminates 4 teams that would have been in if he made it. As that means we figure out the playoff scenario coming up, as China is not going to be into the playoff round. As they set up the playoff round here inside the Save-On Foods Memorial Center. Allison has gone down to talk to Nicholas Adine, who's into the playoffs and into the 1-2 game. A huge victory for Sweden, eliminates 4 teams at 6 and 5. So that close from being a mess of tiebreakers, instead just 4 teams straight in, avoid all tiebreakers. As a wild finish and a great one to draw 17, as Sweden knocks off Canada to move to 7 and 4, drops Canada down to 7 and 4. As we look at that, highlights of this game, the 8th end. And Brad Jacobs, with that stone coming in by Nicholas Adine, has a in-turn slash over the top to try and get 2. The yellow stays there, needed a little thinner as the red rolls away, and it is just a single for Jacobs, which ties the game up. Well, the 9th end, the double made, pardon me, not fully made, it stays on the side. Nicholas Adine takes the chance, knows a steal could be a possibility, picks that red one out and scores 2. So a 9-7 lead heading to the 10th end. And in the 10th, Jacobs needing 2 to tie, trying the outturn in off the side. Has to have a shooter redirect onto the stone in the 4-foot and bounce off the back one in the side of the 12-foot. And as he makes contact, just a little bit underneath on both of them, needs a steal of 2, and it will be an 11-7 victory. Sweden with the win knocks Canada down in the standings, but both on to the playoff round. As we look at the final scores here in draw 17, 8-5, China beats Finland, Norway a thumping over Russia 11-3, and Switzerland over the Czech Republic 6-3. As the finals round robin standings shake up as this: Scotland 8-3. Sweden gets the 2 seed because they beat Denmark and Canada. Well, Denmark, the 3 seed, beat Canada, so that's the way it sits. The playoff teams, all the 6 and 5 teams failing to make it. 5 and 6, US, then Russia, Japan, and Finland to round it up. As we look at the playoff format, the page system will be used. Scotland, Sweden tomorrow night, with the winner going directly to the final, loser to the semi. Denmark, Canada, sudden death. winner to the semifinal, loser to the bronze. And that's how the playoffs will shape up here at the World Championship. And now, from Victoria's skip, Nicholas Adine.
Nicholas, congratulations. That was some game.
Yeah, thank you. That was probably one of the most fun games to play. I've never seen so many shot-making shots in a game like this. Maybe at the Slam or something like that, but not at Worlds. So it was an amazing game to play, and I think it was fun to watch too, or I hope so.
As usual, it always comes down to the end. Would you have made that shot at the end?
I don't know if I would have made it, but I might have tried it. It looked like the Howard shot. It would have been the shot of the year, and I think it was there, definitely. It was, if he sticks that on the shot rock, it's always there for 2. So it was not that much more difficult than the thin double, I think. But yeah, he made a choice, and he was really close to making it. But.
And in terms of the overall performance by the team, how would you assess that?
Yeah, it was. I think both teams played really, really great. And then some of the points that got was mistakes, easy mistakes, and then one team capitalized and got a deuce. But some of the deuces were really hard work, like lots of shot making to get those points. And yeah, I think both teams played really well, and I'm really proud of my team for coming back into this spiel after such a bad week before this. And we said before the game we had to win this one, and then we're back in it, and then we can forget all about the other round-robin games.
And briefly, Scotland in the 1-2.
Yeah. Feels a lot of it's a lot of fun to play.